felt good, obviously, just to be back out playing again. I thought the crowd was awesome, coming back from not having students. I thought they really showed up. That was great to see. And, it's a lot of it's what you expected. Gosh, we got down 7-0. I thought our guys worked through it. I thought we got into a little sluggish to start. Then I thought we really picked up our intensity. They do a great job of obviously testing your discipline. I thought we played hard. I thought we didn't play as disciplined as we need to, and a lot of that's a credit to them. The matchup zone's going to give you problems. I don't know how many air balls we had tonight, and then some of that comes with it. And I think as I look and talking to our guys after the game, and I think conditioning was a little bit of a factor at times, and not that that's not an excuse at all, because you got to give Air Force a ton of credit. But I think you feel it in your legs. There's nothing like playing, because I think it's not just that we haven't played in 24 days. About half of that we did nothing. We weren't out on the court doing anything, and so I think we had 3 full practices before we got out and played, and we knew we were going to get a great shot from them. They're really well coached. They do what they do really well, and I thought they made some really big, timely shots, and every time we tried to make a run, they made a run right back at us, and gosh, isn't that what you would expect in conference play? But at the end of the day, I'm really proud of our guys for just fighting through it and finding a way to get their first Mountain West win.
Nico, you knew deep down physically it wasn't all going to be there tonight, but your players felt like they kept their wits about them tonight, and that was important. Did you see the same thing leading to this win?
I think so. I think emotional toughness and maturity is a huge deal, and these guys have that. And, there's frustration all the time. You want it to be better and stuff. But, again, a lot of that's our opponent, too, the way that they play and the kind of game that they brought. But I agree with you. Even though it wasn't always there physically the way you wanted it to, I thought our guys emotionally stayed with it.
Was that most important? Like you talked about, you're down 7-0, so you can't get down about that. They hit however many backdoor cuts. Those things are frustrating.
Yeah.
Miss shots you normally make, but your team kept coming back.
Yeah.
Is that the sign of their maturity?
I think so. It's a sign that, we had to be a lot more disciplined in 2 weeks when we go down there and play those guys. And it's a fine line. I mean, that's what they do. I thought our guys tried to play hard. You know what I mean? I think they did. I thought they tried to really muster up everything they had to compete, and that's who they are. But that's not, like I said, playing hard's just the price of admission, and they know that. You got to play with discipline and connectedness, and we did that at times, but not for long enough periods of time to play the way we needed to. But we did enough. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we did enough to win, and that's the most important thing here today.
How important is a guy like Chandler and his defensive instincts? He had a couple of those steals that got you out on breaks, which is obviously important tonight.
Huge. I thought he was really, really good that way and had some really key energy plays and moments for us on both ends of the floor. And I thought he made pretty good decisions on offense too. I thought he played, took care of the ball, made good decisions, and I did. I thought his athleticism really, really sparked us, and I don't know that we win this game without him.
Like you said before, you only got a few practices before this. Just what did you guys really have to prioritize with so little time to kind of get ready?
I think, when you first come back from something like this, the number one thing is not to worry about your opponents. It's about how do we just try to fundamentally on both ends of the floor try to kind of get back to what we do every day, and then try to have some sense of conditioning. That's hard to do because you want to get back in shape, but you also can't run your guys into the ground. If you do that, that's going to backfire as well. And so, again, I thought we tried to work our way up, and then the last couple of days before this, we really turned our attention to playing, Air Force. And the challenge with them is, for like a young player like Jalen Lake, you can take everything you've worked on in practice on defense, for 2 weeks, and then say, hey, forget everything you learned. Now we got to do this a little bit different because they're so unique. And but those are experiences we have to have. And but we tried to focus on ourselves, and then we turned our attention to Air Force. But as you can see, it's going to take us a little bit of time to kind of get back into the shape that we need.
Air Force is like a calculus test coming off a semester break when nobody's been studying, bad analogies.
I get it. Yeah.
What grade would you give your guys relative to where they can be and have been?
Yeah, that's a great question because there's just so many circumstances that go into that with today. And I'll give them a B. A B minus. I mean, I think we could have been more disciplined at some things, but it's a tough thing to do that. And I know going through it, to come off that long of a break like that and come out and play, that's not easy. And I know from being through that last year. And so So I think you got to give our guys credit again, for staying with it. And you got to give Air Force a lot of credit, They've got some good young players, and they're going to be a team. You watch as things keep going here. You go by, they're going to be a team to be reckoned with.
Do you guys know at all what's next?
I don't know how much I said. I do know. I don't believe the Boise game will happen Friday. Could it happen later in the weekend? Possibly. We just don't have the answer to that right now. I think, from our standpoint, we're maybe actively trying to look for other opportunities if that game doesn't happen. I think it's critical that we play. As you can see, I think we have to play some games here. So we're trying to keep all options on the table. Obviously, that's frustrating for everybody. It's frustrating for nobody more than our players. But we just don't have the answer to that right now, So we're going to keep looking for other opportunities if that doesn't happen. And hopefully, in some form or fashion, we can get a game in this weekend.
Good.
Thanks, Nico.
Thanks.
Thanks, Nico.
Yep, appreciate it.